Unicorn 100 here. Um, so we're gonna be talking about My Little Pony Generation 5. This is part 2. Hope you enjoy. So we're just waiting on Thor here. And then we'll get ready to start talking about it. So how is everyone doing today? Alright, Thor, there's the Thor. So what should we talk about G5, Thor? Because we actually had a huge talk of it on Steam, and yeah. So we talked about yesterday about the dimensions thing that they were doing, and I'm just gonna go into firefight here. Yeah, we talked about. Actually, let's do it normal here. Yeah, we talked about. Well, it was it's true though. It was that yeah. So we talked about yesterday about the dimensions. They're trying to make the Earth ponies more interesting, and some other stuff. And we compared shows too, like The Simpsons and Samurai Jack into it, and we compared them.
Fire.
So
shows covenant activity in this sector.
I looked.
Dig in and make sure they don't get past you.
Well, I was looking through.
Start. Skull.
And, well, I was looking for new stuff and stuff like that. So I did find. I didn't really go into it, so I don't know much about it. But they are, from what I've seen, they are planning to do a G5 movie. So, for the ponies. So, hopefully, when they make that G5 movie, if they are planning to, is hopefully to keep the original designs of the ponies from G4 and put them into G5 and stuff. So yeah, so hopefully the G5 movie will trying to think of the words here. Will not be like the designs of the ponies from the G5. Hopefully it's the G4 ponies that will be in the G5 movie, which I am really hoping for. So, what is your opinion on that, Thor? What do you think about that? About the G5 movie? If they do, because I don't know if they're making it or not, because I didn't really look into it. I just know that they I just know that it's there's a G5 movie that's going to be out or not. I'm not sure. So I'm gonna read what Thor has up right now, like I did yesterday. Let's go in here though, so I can actually read it. So this is what Thor says. Well, I am curious to what they would do when the G4 ends, and what they will do to save the old fans and bring them over to G5. So I am wondering the same thing too, Thor. I'm wondering the same thing too about that. because I know well, we're both old fans of the show. So if they want to like bring people, the old fans, to the G5, they need to put the four G ponies into G5 to get them to actually go over and watch G5. Otherwise, it's not gonna work out. And trying to think of other topics. Yeah, these guns. Okay. Yeah. So the G5, if they want to get the old fans to watch G5, is to put the four G ponies into G5. So that would be if they want to keep the old. Alright, here's what the one says. Well, to be honest, when I said older fans, they do have the generation 1, 2, 3 as well, but when they made generation 4, still making good with it. Yes. So, from what I have read, is that Hasbro's doing a really good job with basically the sales for Generation 4. So, and if they go and change what the fans love of Generation 4 and put them into and change like the character design and all of that, it would not. They're taking a huge risk with that, a very huge risk, considering that the fans do love the Generation 4 and got basically is used to the Generation 4 ponies that we come to love. Alright, so here's what Thor says again. So keep Generation 4, just don't change that. And yeah, so I totally agree with you on that. I thought about keeping the Generation 4 ponies for 5. Yeah. So, yeah. I am with you on that about the Generation 4 ponies going into 5. Now going back to the movie. I think I read somewhere. Hold on, let me look it up. But these guns don't get me first. And they get me. Okay, so it's supposed to. The movie's supposed to come out after season 9 finale, like finale basically, and that happened. Okay, yeah. So the G5 movie is supposed to come out during
one life.
Well, not during, but after the season 9 finale basically. So hopefully yeah, so hopefully these ones don't get me, and they did. Yeah, so hopefully they keep the Generation 4 ponies into 5.
No life
that and I thought it did say what was that? I thought that you said about Applejack and Generation 5. because we talked, because you told me about it. Because you actually did see like or read stuff about it. So what was it again? Are you still on the door? Okay, so it's something that you heard. So from what Thor heard for Generation 5 is that, well, is it like true or is it, what, just like something that you heard Thor before I actually talk about it? Oh, so it's just something that you heard. So, from what Adora is saying, from what Adora has heard, is that in Generation 5, Applejack might be evil. I'm not sure how true that will be.
We can't afford to let them hold that area. I'm calling in.
So, I don't know how true that will be, or if it's true or not. So, I'm not 100% sure on that, but if it's what they're thinking of doing for Generation 5, again, I'm not sure on this. It would be very bad to actually do that if they are thinking of doing that, making Applejack evil for Generation 5. Not a very good idea. Actually, a lot of the stuff that they're thinking of doing for Generation 5, from what I read so far, are really bad ideas. Yeah, so from what Thor has heard about the Applejack thing, it's not final, but it's a rumor that's going around about Applejack being evil for Generation 5. So, but yeah, so yeah, you're getting your voice heard here, Thor. I mean, like everyone's chat, live stream chat messages. Pinkie Pie Love You, are you on or are you not on right now in the chat? What about you, Cute Sally? Are you on too? Strange? Or is Fedora the only one in the chat right now discussing this? Yeah, so going back to the this what they're thinking of doing and stuff is actually really bad for Generation 5. They are not actually taking what the fans love into Generation 5. Like they're not taking the
Firefight.
Generation 4 ponies and
We
just
need to hold this area at
upgrading
all
the
costs.
graphics to put them into Generation 5.
Set, start, skulls on.
Because they need to put the Generation 4 ponies, upgrade the graphics into 3D, and put them into Generation 5. That would make them a lot of money, and it would keep all the fans happy. So, yeah. Because, yeah. And going back to the dimensions and stuff, still, that would be a really bad idea because it would be not very good at all. Because it would get really confusing, and yeah, it would get really confusing with all the different dimensions, and I don't think no one would care about the other dimensions too.
Double kill.
And they need to keep the ponies basically what they stood for, and they need, yeah, keep the ponies what they stand for here. And for Generation 5, and to like keep the ponies the same. Just upgrade the graphics to 3D and move them to G5. Yeah, so yeah, from right now, from what I've heard and actually saw, basically when I was looking through for some info for Generation 5, that Generation 5 everyone is hating on a lot. Because I went through like a lot of websites and stuff like that, and there's actually a lot of hate on Generation 5 right now. I actually sent Thor some of everything that I found. I sent everything what I found to Thor, and Thor would agree on me on this, that there is a lot of hate on Generation 5 because they're not doing what the fans love. Well, what they're planning on doing, the fans do not like for Generation 5. And that's why it has all the hate on it for Generation 5. So, would you agree from what all I sent you with from all the stuff I found, that there is a lot of hate for Generation 5? Or would you disagree on that? So, yeah, all right. So Thor does agree with me on that part, because in order to have a good show, like basically the next generation of the show, we need to put in what the fans loved about the basically the show that the fans love, and put that into the new show, but add new like characters, new new places, and like new enemies and stuff like that. But don't change like who the characters are or their design, because if you do that and do not like don't do what the fans love about, like don't do like if you don't do what the fans love about the show, what they love about like the show that they are watching, and put the stuff into the new show that don't have that stuff, it's not gonna work out the way that they're gonna thinking of planning it out, what they think it's gonna be. Because right now, it's not gonna work out too great when they do Generation 5. Just from all the stuff that I talked in the last video about, and in this video about. So, from all the stuff that they are planning on doing. that is not gonna work out. So here's what I thought says. Well, D5 isn't really concerned as of yet. Sure, we can still change, but it can't. But they might not change in the coming years, and all they would still have to say if they just play it right. So yeah, they need to. Oh, I chose the wrong loadout. Okay, yes, I do agree that if they play it out right, like do everything what basically we talked about, like doing right, like all the stuff that we talked about, like making the, like we're not making, but keeping the ponies the same from generation 4 into 5, that would be playing it right. And stuff like that. That would be actually a big right there. And stuff like that. So it's good. So they need to do just add new enemies into Generation 5, but keep the characters that we know now the same. And don't change them. Don't change like who they were. And especially don't change their design. Their design in Generation 4 is amazing. It's awesome. And a lot of people would agree, agree with me on that. So yeah, keep the design of Generation 4, just update the graphics to 3D and put them into Generation 5, because the concept of the new design of the characters is awkward and weird. And a lot of fans do not like it, because there is a lot of hate on Generation 5 right now for the Generation 5 show on My Little Pony. So and that happened. Okay. So yeah, so and
one life left.
New enemies would be interesting to see in Generation 5. Just I'm gonna say don't like make the enemies like, I'm gonna say like nice. Maybe for like this is just my idea right here. This is my idea right here. Like maybe if the enemies are like, if they make an enemy, let's say, I'm gonna compare it to what they did in Spider-Man 3 with Venom, like Sandman and Harry Osborn, I think. But I don't know why I haven't seen the movie in years. That Harry actually helps Spider-Man, Peter Parker, actually help him fight Sandman and Venom. So that would be like the only time that everyone would probably be okay with a villain being good, just for that moment, for just to basically helping the good character help fight the other evil characters.
No lives left.
Just for that moment. Though. Then they would just stay evil after that. Like the evil characters would stay evil after that. Because it's weird to see a good character turn evil. And it's weird And it's weird to see a evil character turn evil, like, basically forever. I mean, if they just do, like, just like the evil character, if they do the evil character being good, like, the whole time, like, becoming good for the whole time, it's not gonna work out. I mean, it's gonna be weird, but, um, yeah, evil characters should be evil, unless it's like them trying to help that good character out for, like, for the moment, for one moment and stuff. So yeah. And so back to what we talked about yesterday. So we talked about how the Earth ponies are gonna, basically what they're thinking of doing is making the Earth ponies more interesting. I mean, if you're gonna make, this is my opinion, if you're gonna make something interesting, you should at least do it to all the other characters as the same. So, I thought, so did you find anything else more about the Generation 5? Or something?
Firefight. Spartan, we need this area locked down. Nobody gets in or out. Set, start. Skulls on.
So, yeah, so, oh, you're searching, okay. Well, I thought I was searching for new stuff to talk about. We can just be talking about the Generation 5 movie. That's gonna come out somewhere after season 9's finale. So, I'm not too sure on the movie because I didn't really look into it that much. I just looked up the movie and just read, like, the first thing that I saw. So, all I know about the movie is that it's the Generation 5 movie. But, again, if they're going to be doing what I read about, what they're thinking of doing from what I read about, it's a really bad idea. Unless they do what we talked about them keeping all the characters the same from Generation 4, but turning them into 5, and keeping what the characters stood for from Generation 4 into 5, because those are really important. Oh, Thor has actually a good point right here. Let me read it. Wait, let me mention the toys, though. Would they even stay the same, or will they change as well? Well, if they do, if they don't listen to the fans and all of that, and they go ahead with what they talked about doing the dimensions and the new design of the ponies, then yeah, the toys would change as well. Yeah, the toys would change as well if they did that. Because they're taking a huge risk. What they're talking about, it would be actually a really big risk. So, especially what they talked about with with them removing Luna too from Generation 5, because because Luna needs to be in Generation 5. And a lot of people would agree on me with that, because a lot of people want me to talk about Luna from the last video, from the last live stream. So, okay, so here's what I was saying. How about Flurry Hot? She just got into the show as well.
5 lives left.
And to remove her is more illogical, if I'm saying that right, than Pinky, unless they change her style in G5. I don't know about that because I didn't read anything about that, because I literally searched like through like a whole page of like stuff about G5, but I did not find anything on that. But what I'm guessing is I really don't know. It could go either way. They could keep Flurry Hot. They could like take Flurry Hot out completely. They could make Flurry Hot a background pony. They could mention Flurry Hot in Generation 5. There's a whole lot of stuff that could happen to Flurry Hot, so there's a lot of possibilities. Or they could just mention Flurry Hot too, but if it's at the dimensions, then I wouldn't think so. If they're thinking of doing the dimensions thing, then yeah, I don't think so that they would mention Flurry Hot. But that's what I think, because I'm not too sure on that. I'm just guessing on what these fans. They all want the hugs. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna read what Thor is reading right here. Wait, what if they make everyone of new old characters to be the background ponies and new characters will be the focus? That I don't know about. Like, for me, I would not like to see that happen at all. That I would literally stop watching. I would literally stop watching the show if they did that in Generation 5. I'm not even joking.
Cover me, freeloading.
The ponies that are now, if they move them to Generation 5 and keep them as the main characters, I would definitely still watch the show. Because if they did that, though, I would just be watching like basically the old seasons of Generation 4. I would just be watching those seasons. If they did that. Okay. And that happened. Because we got used to the ponies of Generation 4, and we love them a lot.
No lives left.
So it wouldn't make sense at all if they did that at all. So yeah, it wouldn't make sense if they just decide to add new characters. From what you said.
Lost. Game over.
But yeah, for me though, keep the ponies the same from Generation 4 into 5. Make them 3D. And keep them as, yeah, make them 3D. Keep, no, I can't talk today. Keep the characters from Generation 4. Put them into 5. Make them 3D. And it would be a awesome show. It would. It would. But Hasbro needs to do what the fans love, though. If they don't do what the fans love, then no one's gonna watch the new Generation 5 show. I can already tell you now, though, there is a lot of hate on Generation 5 because of what Hasbro is thinking of doing. So, yeah. So,
Fire.
and for we talked about this yesterday too, about older audiences, is to they can keep the show from what. So basically, they don't need like to get people from all ages, like change the basically the rating of the show. They can keep the show the way it is with they can keep the show the way how they're making it, but put it into Generation 5, and still people from all ages and audiences would still watch it, no matter what. So they don't have to like make the show more darker. For Generation 5, they can just keep it the way it is. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. So, yeah, they really need to do some thinking about this. Like, just think stuff over. Like, not think stuff over, but they need to think what the fans love. What the fans love into Generation 5. Keep the stuff, keep everything stuff the same as it was in Generation 4. Into 5, and just add new enemies, new places, and stuff, and the show would be awesome. The show would be awesome. Well, I'm not gonna be really talking about that though with the war. So, yeah, so I'm not gonna be talking about that. What you're just talking about right there. There you go. But yeah, so hopefully they do what the fans love. Yeah, I do agree with you about Generation 5 though, that I don't agree with the Generation 5 from what they're thinking of doing to it all. But Yeah, because everyone has a favorite pony who is a fan of My Little Pony from Generation 4. Everyone has a favorite pony. Everyone has a favorite pony. And to just change all of that for Generation 5, everything what the fans love about them, would not go over so well. Would not go over so well. Yeah. I agree with you on that. I totally agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you with that. So, I do not know when the actual date is for the Generation 5 movie. All I know is that it's coming out after the season 9 finale. So, if it comes out, because I don't know. There we go. Yeah, so, when I find more news, I'll make more. When I find more news about the Generation 5, when new information come out, or when I find that information, basically, I will make more videos on this. So, yeah.
No lives left.
So, yeah. But, I think
Game over.
Yeah, I think that well, from what I read, no, from what I read on other like people say that Hasbro has crossed the line with changing everything for Generation 5. I totally agree with them on that. I totally agree with them on that. And Thor would agree as well, too. So, and I hope Hasbro is watching this, too. I hope Hasbro is watching this and realizing what they're thinking of doing in Generation 5, doing the dimensions,
Firefight.
Changing up the pony's designs and what they look like. And
set, start,
yeah, and all that. Oh, and that would be a really bad idea. And I hope, and I really hope they're watching this video and actually take an account, basically, for all the fans, basically, and not leave, basically just basically do what the fans don't want. They need to do what the fans do want. Because otherwise people will not watch Generation 5 at all. So, yeah. So, please share this video with everyone here. Share that even the last video I did talking about Generation 5 in my little Tony. Share that to everyone. And let's find some more news about Generation 5 too. So anything you want to say at the law about Generation 5? So, you want to say anything? But put anything in right now at all? You still there at all? Still there at all? Well, though I can't think of anything else because it's always out of stuff to talk about. But I'll talk about. We talked about the audiences, about them trying to make the audiences for basically try to open the audiences thing up to more people, which would not make much sense since there's a wide range of audiences that watch the show already. And making the show darker is not making the show darker for Generation 5 is not good at all. Not good at all. Because everyone likes it how it is. Not they don't because making the show darker is basically
5 lives left.
I'm gonna do example. Another example here. So I'm trying to put Jason from Friday the 13th into like a let me think. Trying to think of example here like Jason from Friday the 13th here. It's like trying to put him into like a cowboy movie for like a Wild West movie. It's like trying to put Jason from Friday the 13th into like a Wild West movie. It doesn't work out. We need to keep the show the way it is. Alright, hold on. Yeah. We need to keep everything the way it is now and cut it into Generation 5. Because I know, it would. Yeah, Adore agrees with me in a about the example. Oh, I know, right? I know, right? So, yeah. Yeah, it would. Or it would, yeah.
One life left.
Yeah, but they need to get back to the seriousness. I can't talk, right? But get back to like the important and serious stuff here. Is they need to keep everything from generation, like they need to keep the character design the same.
Lives left.
They need to keep the character design. Yeah, they need to keep the character designs the same and put them into Generation 5, upgrade the graphics to 3D, and it would be considered new. So, yeah. And they would make a lot of money by doing that. Because
It's time to pull out.
what they're thinking of doing, they're gonna be losing money, basically. Because I'm gonna compare another thing. If you guys remember the Mario movie, the Mario movie, the Mario Brothers movie, that there was no one really liked that movie from what I heard. But it would it would be basically doing, they would be, Hasbro would be basically doing the same thing if they're thinking of doing what they
Firefight.
are planning on
This
doing.
sector is your number
Would
one
be basically
priority,
doing the same
soldier.
thing. So they need to do what the fans love.
Set, start, skulls on.
Because if they don't do what the fans love, then the fans will either leave or get mad or other stuff. So yeah. So yeah, so yeah. And let me think here. So yeah. But if they want to add basically new enemies, that would be interesting for Generation 5, new enemies. But it would be neat. But again, everyone needs to stay the same design from Generation 4, and upgrade the graphics to 3D into 5. So, because the new design of the ponies, I'm gonna say again, the new design of the ponies for Generation 5 is a really bad idea. Really bad idea. This would be a really big mistake for them to do this. Really big. Because since the fans, because you need to do what the fans love. That's how you're gonna make either more money and keep your fans. Because, yeah, I think the Thor would agree with me on that. So yeah. Well, that happened. Okay. Yeah. So Again, that's all the information that I have and opinions from Thor here. And from what Thor and me learned about. So, I hope Hasbro does watch this video. And I hope Hasbro actually does watch this video. Now, if you like this video,
Double kill.
and you like what we're saying, like this video. Like it. Like the video. If you like what we're talking about. And I'll get some more information about Generation 5. And we'll talk about that. Actually, though it does have a point here from what does have a point here from what I just talked about. So I'm gonna read it. Well, to get money, they need to have the fans buying merchandise and actually continue watch it. So yeah. So yeah, you need fans to make money, and if the fans leave from seeing Generation 5 and stuff like that, from Generation 5, they won't be making money at all. I can tell you that for sure. So you need fans. You need fans to make money, basically. In this case. So yeah. Yeah, so if you guys like the video and like what we're talking about, like the video. And let me see here. So Thor, what is your opinion about the G5 movie? What is your opinion on that? What's your opinion on the G5 movie? If they do make the G5 movie. Okay. Well, okay, Thor.
One life left.
Yeah. So we basically talked about everything here, and I'm gonna be ending this live stream.
Reinforced.
So I'm just gonna say this. Keep the ponies from Generation 4, put them into Generation 5, but make them 3D. I'm gonna end the live stream right here. Comment, subscribe. Have a nice day. So I'm gonna say this again. Make the ponies from Generation. I can't talk today. Take the ponies from Generation 4, put them into 5, make them 3D. Put the pony. Well, I can't talk. Make the ponies from Generation 4, put them into 5, and make them 3D. Take the ponies from Generation 4, put them into 5, and make them 3D. I'm going to end the live stream right here. Bye.
No lives left.